I hear the arguments from both sides. Over here, Bitcoin is better than gold. No, 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 no. Gold is better than Bitcoin, right? I hear it all the time. In this video, though, I'm going to talk about the one thing that joins them together. And you may never look at either of them the same after this. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the video. So today we are talking about Bitcoin and gold. Like I said, I hear it all the time from both sides of the aisle. Gold is better, Bitcoin is better, and I've done videos just on gold, and I get a lot of people coming out in favor of gold, and people chime in, no, Bitcoin's better, and then I make a video of Bitcoin, and then I get all the gold people telling me that no, gold is better. And so I want to talk about that today. We're going to look at what they both have in common. I'm not going to put them head to head. That's already been done before, and I've actually done that before as well. But let's see what they have in common. Now, first of all, I love gold. I've been a gold investor for a really long time. I've been a gold investor for a lot longer than I've been a Bitcoin investor. And I still love Bitcoin, and I still love gold, right? In about 2008, the financial crash happened, the great financial crash. I lost everything. I've told you that story a bunch of times. Thought I was set in life. I was retired, just got married, just had kids, had a bigger portfolio than I ever imagined I would, and I lost everything. And I was devastated, and I had to rebuild. And I'm not going to go into that story because I've told you a bunch of times, but at that time, as devastated as it was, I figured, I vowed to never let that happen to me again. And so I had to commit to myself to figure out what the heck went wrong? Like, what happened with the financial system? How does this whole money thing work? How does money transfer one person to the next? Why did the whole financial system collapse at once? What is the financial system? What's it even built on? I had to answer all these different questions to myself because I needed to figure out what was going on, which obviously led me to gold. Now, I found a couple interesting things about gold, and one, gold is money. It's been money. It's been money for 5,000 plus years. It is money. JP Morgan, the founder of one of the largest banks in the world, testified before the government in the early 1900s, and he said gold is money, nothing else. Or he said everything else is credit. Gold is money, everything else is credit. And really, I mean, I went back and found that, but really it was Ron Paul who was really instrumental in this, in kind of pushing me towards developing this love for gold, right? And if you like gold, I'm sure you like Ron Paul. And he's out of politics now, but he's still commentating from the sideline. But shout out to Dr. Ron Paul. We're really going to miss him, and really we need someone to come and step in and take his place. But he has been championing sound money, hard money, how the money system that we have today, fiat system, fake money, paper money, it's not backed by anything. And he's championed the cause of having gold, hard, sound money. And he ran a campaign in the Fed, the Federal Reserve, which makes fake paper money instead of the gold money. So Ron Paul really brought this to the forefront, really educated the masses on what the Fed has done to destroy the economy, civilization, America, etc., and why going back to gold, going back to a hard, sound money makes sense. So shout out to Ron Paul for that. Hopefully we get more voices like his into the media. And then another big shout out to Mike Maloney. Mike Maloney from Gold Silver has been putting out videos for a much longer than me. It was his videos that really got me going. And so he's talked about the same thing, how this fake monetary system, I mean, gold's been backing every major currency for 5,000 years. We're 50 years into this fake money, this paper money experiment, this fiat money experiment. And it's going horribly wrong. And I'm not going to go into all the things that we're seeing today because I've made plenty of videos about that. But Mike Maloney has been talking about this for a long time. And he talks about how we know that the dollar is losing value and what happens as they print more money and how that destroys things. So Mike Maloney's been doing a good job as well for the gold people, explaining why gold is important, why gold stands up against the fiat system, why when the fiat system fails, why gold will still be there. And so Ron Paul, Mike Maloney have been doing a good thing. And like I said, so them together with the gold industry, they've been doing a good job. They've been fighting against currency debasement. They've been fighting for sound money, right? So talking about the endless debasement, so debasing the currency, where they print more money and it makes it worth less. The gold industry has been fighting these, the endless printing of money, right? And they've been fighting against endless wars. Wars used to end when countries ran out of money. But when they can print as much money as they want, they don't run out of money and they don't run out of wars. I was just watching, just recently on pay-per-view, there's a movie that came out, Robin Hood. Jamie Lee Foxx is in it. And it was a pretty interesting movie. It was a kind of a modern adaptation of the old Robin Hood story. And it was set in that time frame, but they kind of had this like modern imagery in it, which was kind of cool. But anyway, when I was watching the video, it was the story of Robin Hood as we know it, right? The kings were overtaxing people and trying to go into the war effort. And so Robin Hood was stealing from them and giving back to the poor. But what's interesting when I watched that is, the Sheriff of Nottingham and the whoever, the Pope, they were just continuing to tax and tax and tax the poorest of people, and taking their gold coins for what they called the war effort. And they had to just go and just take everything, every valuable thing, every gold coin, every gold plate, whatever, from these poor people for the war effort. And I commented to my wife, I said, yeah, back then they had to go steal the gold from the people to continue the war effort. Today, they don't have to do that. Today, they just print more money, right? It's just a never-ending war because they can just print more. So anyway, the gold industry has been fighting against that. In the Fed, Ron Paul's been talking about this, get out of these other countries' affairs, right? Get our own house in order. So gold's been fighting that. Gold's been fighting against the rich and poor divide. Everyone's mad about these rich people and these poor people and the divide that's there, but it's the endless money printing, the fake money system that's created that. So gold's been fighting against that. Gold's been trying to educate people to wake up to all this. And so I found this out in about 2008 when I started to really look at all this stuff. And I found those guys, those leaders, and I've been championing the cause ever since, and I still am today. And that's why I love gold. However, what do Bitcoin and gold have in common? Well, Bitcoin was created for the exact same reason, all right? As a matter of fact, in the very first line of code, Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever he is or they were or whatever, put in the code, the very first line, the chancellor was on the brink of another bailout. Meaning it was launched right around 2008 and 2009, and it was launched as a direct response to this endless printing. So as soon as the great financial crash happened, the governments of the world just went into massive stimulus, massive money printing, and Bitcoin was created as a response to that, as a response to endless money printing. The same thing that gold and gold bugs and gold leaders and the gold industry have been fighting against. Gold and Bitcoin, the same thing, right? So Bitcoin was created for the exact same reasons. They're both fighting the same enemy, which is fake money, counterfeit money, out of control spending, endless wars, division between rich and poor, division between everybody, right? So Bitcoin is created for the exact same reasons. And they're fighting, like I said, the common enemy, this fake money. And there's a quote here that I'm sure you've heard before, and that is, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? And so what that means is that what we should do is, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because we have a common objective. We both want to defeat somebody. And so gold and Bitcoin, while are different, don't need to be paired against each other in a fight. We don't need to be battling, is gold better than Bitcoin? What we need to be focused on is, are they better than this fake counterfeit money system that's ruining the world, right? That's what we need to be focused on. And both gold and Bitcoin can educate the public on the problem of money. All right. So one thing, with gold, I haven't seen as much, and I guess, it did pull me into the rabbit hole a little bit of gold and why it's important. But with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is so multifaceted, right? There's a technology piece, there's a philosophy piece, there's a political piece, there's a monetary piece, there's an investment piece, there's all these different pieces of it. And so people are getting sucked in from all these different areas. And once they find out about Bitcoin, then they start to ask questions about, well, what's going on with our money and what's going on with the monetary system and all these different things. And so they're both, gold and Bitcoin are both ways to attract people in, to educate them, the public, on the problems that we have with money, which is a really, really good thing. So kind of what I say, instead of fighting between the two camps, which one is better, like we see, you know, with Peter Schiff in the gold industry fighting against prominent Bitcoin advocates like Safety or whatever, instead of fighting, right, just realize that they're the same, but they're different. Kind of like these two apples. They're both apples, but they're different, right? Yeah, one is digital. One is physical, no doubt about that. And so gold bugs are always going to say, well, gold is physical and I can hold gold. And at the end of the day, Peter Schiff tells me I can have gold cufflinks. And that's all true. 100% that's true. And so at the end of the day, if the gold, nobody wants to buy it, yeah, I suppose you could turn it into cufflinks. Sure, why not? That's not why it's important though, all right? They say that Bitcoin is digital. Bitcoin is not real, it's something digital. But it's real to a lot of people. And this is kind of like a different generations, right? So the kids today, maybe the millennials and below, have grown up in the digital age. Everything they have is digital. All of our money is pretty much digital. I mean, if you're under 25 years old, you probably barely handle cash. There's restaurants in my town that don't even accept cash at all. The monetary system is mostly digital. When I talk about the Fed printing money, they're not actually printing money, right? They're pushing a button on a keyboard and it's making trillions of dollars. They're not printing trillions of dollars of cash. So really everything is digital. The money in your bank, the money that you spend on your debit card, the money on your credit card, that's all digital. I hate to break it to you, but it's worth something, right? And today in video games, people are earning credits and they're buying, let's say, skins. So like I have this rifle in this game and I can buy a new skin for that game and that skin makes it camouflage or whatever. And some of those skins have sold for over $30,000 to put a skin on a gun inside of a game. Now that's completely digital. Why is that worth $30,000? Because someone thinks it is. Why is one tennis racket worth more than another? Why is one shirt, because it has a logo, worth more than another? Because people assign value to it. So just because it's digital doesn't mean it doesn't have value. And I'm not going to get into all the intricacies of gold versus Bitcoin. That's not the point of this video. Right or wrong, it's not about being worse or better. It's not about being right or wrong. The point of this video is that we are both here for the same reason, to fight against the fake, corrupt money system, the fiat money system. And so I own both. Like I said, I've been a believer in gold. I've been an advocate of gold. I've been a buyer and investor of gold well before Bitcoin. And I still continue to today. I still continue to hold gold. I still continue to buy gold in various forms and fashions for different reasons. I also own Bitcoin. I own a lot of Bitcoin and I own it for different reasons. I buy it in different fashions and so forth, right? But I own them at the end of the day for the same reason, because they are an option on the future. They are an option on getting out of the financial system. So really, like, Bitcoin is a new technology. I don't even like to call it a currency or a money. I think that makes it too small. Bitcoin is a new technology. And so we have way more growth potential. Like Bitcoin could easily 5x from here. Gold's probably never going to 5x or 10x from here, right? So one is really more for growth. Gold is more for insurance. It's been around for over 5,000 years. It's not going to go anywhere. It's proven. It's battle hardened. It's tested. And if the financial systems collapse, if the fiat currency continues to devalue down less and less and less, gold will be there, and it's insurance for my portfolio. So one is more for growth, one is more for insurance, but both for the same reasons, both for an old, failing monetary system. All right, they're both fighting against the same thing. And you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose which one are better. This is not an either or scenario. This is a both, right? They're both options on the future. They're both bets that the fiat system is going to fail. They're bets in a different way, but both bets for the same reason. So do you believe that the fake monetary system, the fake fiat system that we had for 50 years, do you think it's going to last forever? Yes or no? If the answer is no, it's not going to last forever, well then what comes next? The options are maybe gold, maybe Bitcoin, maybe something different. But We know it's going to fail, so why not be both? We know the financial system is crashing. We know the dollar is losing value. And so we want to adjust our vision. We want to adjust our vision. So why not have both? That's what I think. And that's what I do. Now, I own them in different amounts and I own them in different ways because I look at them both differently. So like I said, with gold is more of an insurance, whereas Bitcoin is more of an upside play. Does that make sense? If you guys like that, give me some thumbs up on that, all right? That's good stuff right here. It doesn't have to be either or. Nothing is black or white. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know the future. If you want to know more about how I buy each one and what kind of percentages are in my portfolio, I have a guide that's down below. You can download it for free. Check that out. And I talk about how to allocate towards each one and what kind of percentages I would put in depending on what kind of investor I was. So that could be really helpful for you. But I own both. And ultimately, the point of this video is stop the fighting. Stop the fighting. Focus on the common enemy. The common enemy is the Fed, the central banks, the endless printing, the counterfeit money. That's what's ruining the country. That's what's dividing the people. That's what's causing the rich and poor. That's what's causing the endless wars. And gold and Bitcoin are on the same side of that. That's what I got for you today. To your success.